And hello, how are you doing? I'm Nikita,
I'm Will.
and this is the Let It Make Sense podcast, where we try to make sense of things that are going on in our world, in our society. And we've got two doozies for you today.
Now, first, I think we need to apologize. We ain't been around in a while.
We haven't. So, our apologies for not being on, for being absent. Life has been lifing. And yeah, we didn't mean to drop the ball. So, our
But we're
sincere
back in
apologies.
full effect
Yes.
every Wednesday. Be on the lookout. We're going live on Facebook and on YouTube.
The YouTube.
We would do Twitter, but I have not figured out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't remember to log in for Twitter. Once I figure that out, then we can go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, so before we get started with our first segment, we got to do the sponsorship. So this episode, or rather this segment, is being sponsored by Just You Soap Company, and I should have brought up the website, but Just You Soap Company. Just You
Bring it
Soap
up.
Company is a. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it. We're gonna let y'all see the lovely Just You Soap Company website. See, I didn't know that when I did a little live earlier. I mentioned Just You Soap Company. If I'd have known, I'd have brought the website up.
Let's see. Here we go. Let's share it. All right, Just You Soap Company. Just You Soap Company is a bath and beauty product company. As you can see, welcome to Just You Soap Company. Our company was born out of necessity when we were unable to find products to soothe our daughter's skin. She has eczema. We created the products, and Just You Soap Company was born. Stay a while and explore products made just for you. They've got Yanni bars, body butter, body oil. They have uh body bars, soap bars to wash your old good old body. They got honey almond, cherry almond, oatmeal milk and honey, which is a very popular bar. They've got activated charcoal and tea tree
That's sweet Yanni.
body bar. It is great for body acne. The Sweet Spot Yanni bar is one of their most popular bars. It is for ladies in their nether region. And then you can check out the podcast that they have on their YouTube channel, Just You Soap Company. It is a Yanni Talk podcast. And this video is a video of one of their first episodes. So check them out at justyousoapcompany.com. That's www.justyousoapcompany.com. Follow them on IG at Just You Soap Company. Follow them on Facebook at Just You Soap Company. Follow them on the local Twitter, this now an X, at Just You Soap Company.
And matter of fact, they got a TikTok.
Oh, a TikTok is the TikTok Just You Soap Company as well.
I believe it is.
And there you go. So follow them on all of the platforms and all of the things. And yeah, they will greatly appreciate it. So now that we've got that done, let's get into it. So our first segment today, if you have not heard, is about Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Aniston. That is like, I don't know, right? I don't know. So if you have not heard, let me bring this up. Jamie Foxx put up a I believe it was a meme, right? He put up a meme. And the meme was just about it's really something that's a colloquialism. And I guess you could say in the black community. I guess nobody else talks about it. But in case you didn't know, Jesus was betrayed by his homeboy Judas, right? He was a disciple. And so Jamie Foxx's
His ace is boom boom.
his post was about basically being betrayed by a friend, right? But I guess the picture was of Jesus, right? So some kind of way it got misconstrued as an anti-Semitic post because I guess Jewish people felt that Jamie Foxx was trying to say that they killed Judas, but that didn't have anything to do with his
Jesus,
post. I mean that Jewish people felt like he was saying that they killed Jesus. Sorry, Judas killed himself. Anyway,
Yep.
go to Bible study about in Sunday school. You'll figure out about that. We're not doing that here today.
No, we do
But
that on Wednesday.
so I guess Jennifer
Anderson.
Jennifer Aniston liked the post. Somebody privately told her, "Hey, his post is anti-Semitic," and she was like, "Oh no!" So she went on her Instagram apologizing about the post. So this article right here from today, it talks about Jennifer Aniston. I keep saying that Jennifer Aniston finding herself facing criticism after she liked a cryptic Instagram post by Jamie Foxx. It was not freaking cryptic. Oh my goodness.
They called it cryptic.
They called it cryptic. It wasn't cryptic. If you're black, you understood it. You know what? I'm not going to say that because it has nothing to do with being black. If you are just lifing, if you are just living your life and you understand the dynamic, I think you would have got it.
I want to know what one person in this planet who's never been betrayed by
a friend.
They called.
And then what's crazy is he put hashtag fake friends on the post. What the freak were you missing?
Because people, here's the thing: everybody wants to play victim in today's society. Let's just be honest, and I'm sick of it. I'm annoyed by the fact that people felt that was anti-Semitic. First of all,
go ahead.
First of all, let's just put it on the table. You got, Jesus was a Jew. Judas was a Jew. Now, you could argue the point if you're a Jew, but we didn't technically kill him, but you did. Because the reality of it is you gave him up. You had an option. You read the Bible. Whether you believe he was who he said he was or not.
But they don't read the Bible.
They don't read after the first 5, yeah. So
they don't believe Jesus was who he said he was.
Exactly. Unless you're unorthodox Jew, because if you're Orthodox, you definitely don't believe it. But here's the thing: you gave him to the Romans. You basically sealed his fate, and that's okay. Because here's the thing, and I'm just going to say it: he was supposed to happen to him anyway. He's supposed to get betrayed. He's supposed to die. You didn't do anything you weren't supposed to do. Just accept that fact you did it and move on. Don't cry about it.
This post didn't have anything to do with
No, exactly.
So here's it. So Foxx posted a message on Instagram, now deleted, seemingly called out fake friends. And it seemingly, what do you mean seemingly? He literally had and you have it in your article, hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. What do you mean seemingly? Anyway, he wrote, they killed this dude named Jesus. What do you think they'll do to you? Hashtag fake friends, hashtag fake love. I don't see nothing wrong with it. We actually say this all the time.
I say again.
I've said it before. They killed Jesus. What you think they're gonna do to you?
What's that thing we say? They talked about Jesus. They're gonna talk about Jesus.
A wounded dog, a house.
But there you go. Somebody barking on 4 legs.
So why he was criticized? A wider frame, whoever the freak that is, a newsletter that focuses on issues affecting the Jewish community, which this did not affect them, on Instagram described Foxx's post as a horrifically anti-Semitic message to his 16.7 million followers. How is it anti-Semitic? Nobody said anything about you
because they
because you know
again. I think that's something they have in the synagogue. They had a conversation.
Let it go.
Accept it. Move on.
I don't know why they included Cardi B, but okay. So a wider frame posted a message that seemed to explain this criticism of Foxx post, that it was echoing an anti-Semitic trope that insists that Jews are collectively responsible for the killing of Jesus. You are. Here's the thing, because I don't want this to get flagged and for it to get taken down. I don't want anybody to say that we're anti-Semitic. I am not anti-Semitic. I would actually love to be able to go to a synagogue just to sit in the back. I love to hear when they pray, when they do the songs, they actually still sing the songs.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to sit there and hear that. The thing that I'm trying to say is that what his post was not anti-Semitic because he was not talking about Jewish people. What he said is a colloquialism, specifically. I don't know if other people say it or not, but I would say in the Black community, that is something that we say. And we're not saying it specifically about Jewish people. We're saying it specifically about this man named Judas that had the audacity to walk with this man for 3 stinking years and then sell him for 30 pieces of silver.
Then have another one to get the silver back and get mad when they don't want to take it.
No, dude, you did what we asked you to do. You did the dirty thing. You did it. Thank you for doing your dirty deed.
I'll be honest with you. I've had that conversation
and
before.
It has nothing to do. It's not an anti-Semitic thing. It's about being around fake people who will sell you out for little of nothing for whatever reason. And that's what his post was about. It had nothing to do with Jewish people. It had nothing to do.
He didn't even say anything about Jewish people.
He didn't,
because they put
themselves.
You said it a few minutes ago. A wounded dog will howl. I say it all the time. If it had nothing to do with you, why you speaking on it? If I didn't say your name, what's that old saying? What's that saying came out a while back when the Ernest boy that do this on Wild 'N Out now said he did a little song. At me so I know it's real.
Oh yeah.
Tag me so I know it's real. If you really got an issue, we would have said you. He would have said your name. I don't think he said your name because it had nothing to do with you.
Right. So someone wrote, any black person growing up in the South would tell you that Jamie Foxx wasn't referring to Jewish people. One user wrote on X, the social media site formerly known as Twitter. Oh, okay. They killed, lied on, talked about Jesus simply means if Jesus can be betrayed, so
Look
can
at
you.
Yep.
He genuinely meant fake friends, fake people, so quick to reach. It's ridiculous. And it is
We've
so
been saying that
true.
thing since we were kids.
Yes.
Your parents, when you get home,
Yep.
if somebody said something about you,
They said,
well, son,
talked
daughter,
about
they
Jesus.
talked about Jesus. Don't worry
What you
about
think
it.
they're gonna do?
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I said that to my children. I've had to reconcile that for myself. They talk about Jesus.
Yep.
What makes me think I'm exempt from it? If you want to,
The whole
is Job a part of their Torah?
no, I think no.
No, it's not. This is the first five.
First five.
Okay, well, in the book of Job, and I'm trying not to go there, but in the book of Job,
sometimes you gotta go there.
Jesus. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
But anyway, God asked Job, "Who are you?
Where were you at? At the foundation of the
Where
earth?
were you when I was creating all this stuff? Who are you? Where were you? All of the things, right? Okay. So, in other words, what makes you think that you are exempt, that you're just so up here that you're exempt for people doing things to you, people betraying you, people talking about you behind your back, then smiling in your face? I have a friend, a soror, who said once, and I always get this wrong, but basically what she said is that somebody said something, and her thing is not necessarily the fact that they said what they said about me, is that they were comfortable enough to say it in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that, right?
Here's the thing, though.
That's what he was talking about.
Here's the thing. The reason why we say this in our community is because, and rationalize it in this manner, because you have to understand, most black people are really religious people, and we really believe in the Lord, we believe in God, and this, that, and the thing, and the whole thing. But here's the catch. It's our way of dealing with things because we understand he came down to show us how to react to every situation that we're going to face. So if we say this, we're saying, hey, Christ came down here to show you how to deal with temptation, bitterness, mistreatment, and all of these things, all of the things. And so therefore,
and if you talk about, and that I'm sitting here still thinking about it. So are you going to take down the stuff that Joel Osteen says if he puts up a post, or if he preaches? Are you going to take down the things that, what's his name? He used to cry all the time. Oh, I can't remember his name. He used to cry all the time. He was a televangelist. I cannot think of his name. But the Jimmy Bakers and his name, but that's not the guy I'm thinking about. I cannot think of his name.
700 Club.
I think he may have been on 700 Club, but anyway, I can think of his name. I'm gonna look it up and find it. But anyway, are you gonna the Pat Buchanans and all this? Are you gonna take down all the things that the evangelicals talk about or whatnot? Because if they mention anything about Jesus being crucified or being betrayed by Judas, so it's all the stuff that they say.
Take down every 7 last word sermon.
I mean,
something about the Garden of Gethsemane?
I'm just saying, are you gonna? I listen to devotional every morning. That's, as a matter of fact, that's the part that it's in. It's in John, and the part of John that it's in is talking about the betrayal of Jesus. As a matter of fact, that's what it was about today. Judas coming up to him, kissing him, and then the people asking him, "Who are you, Jesus?" Now I am. He didn't hide from him. But at any rate, he kissed him. The point of what I'm saying is, are you gonna go and say, "Don't sell that Bible in Books A Million"? They're being anti-Semitic, and I'm not making fun of. I'm not trying to make.
If it's truly anti-Semitic, that's one thing.
Because we just saw what we're going to talk about in our next segment. We just saw what happened in Alabama. We know what happened. They just had that case. Is finally going to trial, or they convicted the man that shot up the synagogue.
Oh, yeah.
We know these things happen. Something just happened here in Tennessee where some people, I guess they were in the KKK, put around some flyers about, on black churches and things like that.
That man who got caught, he was a Jew, matter of fact. He was Jewish, and he was trying to shoot up the school.
Yeah.
There were no kids there, though.
Right, thank goodness. Yeah. So we know this stuff is really happening in our world and in America. We
In our
know this
communities.
in our communities. But this thing on Instagram with Jamie Foxx had
But it's
absolutely nothing to do with
but
anti-Semitism
see, here's the
and
thing. It's not just
anti-Semitism.
happening.
Nothing.
The thing that gets to me is it's not just happening to the to the Jewish community. Look what's happening within the black community. We have the same situations. We have the same issues. It's the same fight. You know, you can call it what you want to call it, but we all have our share of fights. We all have our issues. Nobody every time and why we shouldn't be censored to the point where so sensitive to the point where every time somebody says something, you feel like it's against you. We in this country, people bleed and die just for. And I'm sorry, I'm an ex-military individual. You know, I was in the army. I'm just gonna say it. People bleed and die and put on the uniform of this country to be able to have the right to voice their opinion. You should be able to voice your opinion without being disrespectful, but voice your opinion in a way you stated how you feel, and it should not be. You shouldn't be attacked because you may not agree or feel what somebody else's feel. I don't have to agree with somebody. I don't have to like what you like or do what you do.
And just because he said they, you didn't look as some other people that
You
are a
know,
lighter persuasion as us, as I mean literally us, like they say, I didn't have slaves. It wasn't me.
yeah.
So you know that it was you
You
that was
did.
in the garden of the city kissing a man and betraying it.
So
You
what?
know that
You
it
got your
was you that was
feelings.
taking it from judgment hall to judgment hall,
Put a
beating
pile
and
of
punching
thorns
him
on
in
his
his
head.
face and all that stuff. You know it was
Hit him
you.
with a
So
tail of 9 tails.
right. So that post should not have offended you. And I understand what the person was saying about the old trope about da 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 da. That's not even what he was talking about. Like he literally put the hashtags to tell you what he was talking about. So don't be so quick to be offended by things that have absolutely nothing to do with you.
You.
And that's not just dealing with this post, but it's just across the board. The same thing with black people. There are some things that some people say they do or whatever, and there's a sect of black people that jump on and say, "Oh, they're being racist."
Yep.
I'm like, no, y'all, that
Come
y'all
on,
got
some
that
stuff.
road. That ain't let that go. let, the,
Some stuff you
let
just you're
them people
doing too
have their
much.
opinion and whatever it is. If it didn't hurt you, look, sticks and
It's all
stones
may
may
break
break my
my
bones,
bones,
but
but words
words
will
will
never
never hurt
hurt.
me.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Look, hold on, and now you gotta understand something. I grew up in South Central LA. You grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, and we've never. I don't even think have ever said that, but we can say the exact same thing. That just tells you it doesn't matter. Our community is the same. We pretty much have the same sayings. We move the same way. That is who we are. Just like within their community, you have your own. If you go to a Jewish person community, I guarantee you take two Jewish people from two different places, two different states. They pretty much have the same ideas and thought processes because that is your community. That is how you move. That is how you think, and that's okay. We all have our own ways. That's why everybody's hey.
That's what makes America great, that we can learn from each other. We can pick up things, and like everybody knows in the South, bless their heart can mean
See,
so many things. It can mean like seriously bless their heart, something happened, bless their heart. It could mean, oh, they stupid, bless their heart. If it's a baby and the person says, oh, bless her heart, she's ugly. I'm sorry. and I'm
so,
probably telling people probably like, girl, be quiet, you talk too
you
much.
telling too much business.
But
Somebody said my baby was bless my
so,
baby heart.
and because we've said this before, and not just, I'm not talking about us, I'm like people from the South that said that before. I try not to say that, bless her heart to when I see a baby and she ain't very cute or he's not
And
very
see,
cute.
she had to
I
teach
just
me
smile, because if you look at the baby and say, oh, bless his heart, they saying your baby.
But I'm gonna tell you why. But I'm gonna tell you why. Why we have the same situations. Why we end up saying the same things and things like that. My mother's from Memphis and my daddy from Louisiana. Granny from Mississippi. My family is from the South. So being that I'm from California, but raised by Southern people, but they heard these same things going. They said these same things. So you just have to be mindful of that. You have to be mindful. Everything is not an attack on you.
No, everything is not an
You
attack. So to round this out and wrap it up, take a breath. Just take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Everything does not pertain to you. Respect
each other.
We've got to in our country, in our society, we've got to respect each other. We've got to understand each other. When people said it's a colloquialism, it doesn't mean that da, 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 da. Instead of saying, keep jumping on it and keep pressing it and keep doing all that, somebody should have had the mindset to say, oh, okay, I get it. Why? Because there are so many other ethnic groups that have sayings and have things that may offend us, and we just shake it off. We're
Yep.
like, whatever, and keep on moving, right? But why is it that when another group says something about that you feel is offensive, then we have to, kowtow, bow down, and apologize? Why did Jamie Foxx have to put out an apology for something that's a colloquialism? That's something that's really not even actually offensive if you understood and
The
read
context.
it. But at any rate, it is what it is. So let's be a little bit more understanding. Let's be a little bit more tolerant. And let's put on our full brains when we're on social media and reading things, because you can always just scroll by it and not even react to it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So now that we're done with that, let's get to the hottest topic in the country, probably around the world. But before we do, let's talk about who is sponsoring our second segment. So, second segment is sponsored by FamilyTiesBoutique.com. Go visit FamilyTiesBoutique.com. Okay, so you're finna see something.
Lord have mercy.
You
She
may-
didn't have it set up.
You,
Nothing.
you may recognize somebody on this site. I don't know. Maybe whatever. FamilyTiesBoutique.com. Right now, it is a plus size boutique for women, sizes 1X to 3X, but it is turning over to more of a tea-centered site. There are teas available on the site, and they are My Black is Beautiful, Melanin Rating, Blacknificent, Blessed Vibe teas. They're the CEO. If you're an entrepreneur, and you are interested in the CEO, which is like the CEO $1 million, yeah, you want to get that. Hello, my name is Victory, because you know what? You're a winner. We have the Yes Queen tea, all of the things, as well
What's on
as
that next phase of teas? I didn't even see that.
as well as maxi dresses, cardigans, jumpsuits, just a plethora of the things. So if you're interested in that, then go ahead and visit FamilyTiesBoutique.com. We would love to have you. And yeah, so that's who's sponsoring our second segment. So if you've been under a rock, you've had to be under a rock if you have not heard about this. So there's a thing that happened in Montgomery, and from what I understand,
some people got their tail whooped.
From what I understand, let's see. Former President Trump had just visited Montgomery, so they say, before this happened. But at any rate,
okay, so I know what happened. Now.
So at any rate, what had happened was, if you have not seen the videos, if you have not read the articles, what happened was there was a city boat. We have a here in Nashville.
It's called.
I don't know if I should be saying where we are,
Ford.
but it's called the General Jackson,
Yeah.
right? So
I ain't worried about it.
It's the General Jackson. So they have a city boat, right? That does, goes down the river. You can like have dinner on it. They have performances, or you just get on it for fun. Go up and go. It goes, down the river and comes back up. Whatever. Okay. So they have one of those. So when that boat came back to dock, there was what is it called?
A
pontoon boat in the way. The dock worker asked them to move their pontoon so that the city boat could dock. They didn't. So he pushed the boat out of the way so the riverboat could dock. And you can see in the video, in the first part one of the video, you can see the riverboat coming to dock, but they couldn't. So they had to turn around and go on the other side until he did his job. The dock worker did, right? So then the people who owned the pontoon came up to him, and he explained to like two of them, I think, two or three of them. He explained his story. He explained why they couldn't park there. I couldn't hear it, but I could tell by how he was talking. 3 times. But he got to the third or fourth person, because I can't remember what it was. He was like, he was doing this, because he was like, you gotta move your boat, right? So then they didn't like it. So they came up to bruh. I think the guy pushed him.
He pushed him.
And he took that hat off. First, he turned the hat backwards because they were talking mess, right?
Look. He was like this.
And then he turned it backwards because they were talking mess. Then the guy did something. He took that hat
tossed it. It was over.
He tossed it, and it was like it was on.
It
So
was
then
over.
they jumped him. It was like 3 or 4 on one.
No, it was like 4 or 5.
And then then the people, the brothers and the sisters of the Afrikaners ancestry,
Fight
saw
the
what
power,
happened.
MD.
So they started running to help him. The first guy came, he was pushing the people off of him. They started trying to get him. It was like, yeah,
It was hilarious.
It was raw. And
but-
then when they finally docked the boat, the workers on the boat, first of all, the little the little young man that jumped off the boat while I was over on the other side and swam across the hill. Then when it docked,
shout out to the young rider.
Then when it docked, the workers on the boat jumped, ran off of the boat. They just kept coming. It just kept coming. It just kept coming. It just kept coming. They joined in, and yeah,
they were like just never ending.
Never ending.
I think I know why they did it though. I know
Okay.
why the people of the other persuasion did it.
Okay.
Between Trump,
okay,
and that song.
The Tried in a Small Town.
Tried in a Small Town by what's his name?
Mr. Aldean.
Aldean. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay, I'll be honest. I happen to like Jason Aldean a little bit.
Oh wow! Wait a minute. Put a pin there. So this article from CNN, this on Yahoo News, says investigators looked into whether there was enough evidence to charge for a hate crime or inciting a riot, but the actions did not meet the criteria, he said. So they were trying to, they were really
trying to hang him. Oh, sorry about that. So I'll be honest with you. I think between that song and Trump, these people they wanted some action. They see, it was more than 4 or 5 right there. It's about 5. It's about 5. Yeah, it's about 5, 6. So, because you got him, her dragging one.
Oh, it's 5 of them then.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's
5
crazy.
Of them. So here's the thing. They didn't heard that song, and they didn't talk to good old Trump and decided they're going to try it. Sometimes you need to just let it be in your heart and fester. These kids done told you we're not our grandparents. I'm not playing with you. Stop putting your hands on people.
Oh, and then that was the other thing too. One of our daughters told us that particular dock was used during the slave trade.
Yeah, that dock was during the slave trade, and they used to sell a whole lot of slaves were saved.
It played a substantial role in the domestic slave trade until the Civil War.
Again, stop playing with people. We're gonna give you what you asked for. I'm sorry. It's not. I don't know if it's funny because I think it's funny in the sense that, like, dude, when are you gonna catch a clue to we as normal? If you look at the history of Black people, let's just be honest. I'm just gonna say it. You look at the history of Black people, and I have a different thought process of how that works. But we are not innately just violent people, especially not against other people. What we do in our own community, that's our business. Everybody does whatever they do in their community.
Everybody does what they do
in their community.
In their community.
But we don't necessarily. I live in what was at one point considered to be a very prominent Black neighborhood. Well, not prominent, but just was a predominantly Black community. And gentrification has now happened here in a major way. And I'm not knocking it. Whatever's whatever. But what I've noticed is, they walk around a neighborhood, and you know who they is. I'm not, but they walk the dogs, they walk themselves.
Nobody bothers them.
We do not. Even our
Why
children,
would you? I mean,
they're not doing anything to you, so we don't just intentionally antagonize outside.
Yeah, if we lived in a neighborhood,
one of their neighborhoods,
predominantly.
We would get harassed, stopped by the police. And I say this because I've been getting harassed by the police since I was a kid.
Earlier today, I was doing my job, and my job entails for me to ride around a particular part of the city. And I went a little further than I intended to, and I needed to turn around. So I turned by this, what I figured out after I came back down the road was a community center, but it's a golf course over there. It was really nice. I was like, oh, what is this? This is nice. So I parked in a spot just to do wrote down some stuff. but I immediately became conscious of who I am
And where I'm at.
and where I was.
Mm.
And I did not get scared, but I was like, I gotta hurry up and get away from here because I don't want anyone to see me question why I'm here or become whatever. Like literally, that's
But
it is 2023.
and we still have to do that.
I am a 45-year-old woman. I did grow up in the city in the South where I am. I know what overt racism is, and I know what implied racism is because I've experienced all of it. But in that moment, it was I was the only doctor. When I was leaving, when I finally got away from the parking spot, they probably didn't even know. Well, I can't say they didn't know because they did because someone was looking, but they probably didn't care. But I became extremely self-conscious, and as I was leaving, I think I saw a person that was brown on a golf
But-
cart, but I don't know. But I was like, let me get away from it, and it felt heavy. And I don't know if it felt heavy because I was feeling heavy or because it really
I think
was
it's just
there.
where you're at.
I think
You know,
it really
you know
was
you're
where I
at.
was. I was extreme. I became immediately self-conscious of who I was.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't even really because I just even tell you, we had a situation next door, and the police ended up getting involved. They had a description of the individual.
I gave the description because I'm the one to call them.
I asked the cops when they pulled up. I said, "Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all having a good night?" Police, the white officer says, "Better than you." Even his partner had to look and say,
Stop. So the guy had dreads that were dyed, had on light colored clothes and a jacket. This is how this person looked.
"Then
Then, but he got no dreads.
I ain't had never
And he didn't
had."
have on no light colored clothes. And he didn't have no jacket on.
I was outside my house.
How you see all the stuff, you got the description, but that happens, right? We watch, we see the things, the police pull up, and the person will say, they'll give the description over the thing, and the person be like, well, didn't they just say it's like a red car or a black car?
No.
Didn't the person just say?
I remember I lived in Cheatham, and somebody had just got shot in Cheatham. I didn't know who got shot. Wasn't my business. I was at the store. I didn't know they got shot. And until I got home, I had forgot my wallet. Went home, got my wallet. They said, "Hey, somebody just got shot around the corner." Oh, okay, cool. I went to the store because that's where I was at. On the way back, me and my uncle walking back because him, my mom, and my auntie. I mean, my mom and my dad were at the store, and me and him just to walk back because it was like literally a block away. So we just walked back because I think we had the groceries and my kids were in the car, and it's just easy for us to walk back. Police stop us, and they say, "Do you know what happened? Somebody got shot. Do you know what happened?" No. And I had just told my family that somebody got shot over there. My mom sees us stopped by the police. She pulls up. She says, "You know," she asked. He said something to her. She said, "Yeah, he just told us somebody got shot." He said, "Well, you told us you don't know nothing about it." I said, "I don't. Somebody got shot. I don't know what happened." He said, "Are you getting smart?" I said, "No, I'm just telling you I don't know what happened." He says, "Well, we're gonna take you downtown." Now, me, I'm from California, so we sue everybody. My first reaction was, "Go ahead. Understand something. I want you to use the logic though in this. You're questioning me about me shooting. You're assuming I fit the description. You're saying this and making it sound like whatever. Well, I want you to have logic. You tell me I shot somebody in the projects, drove out the projects. Now I'm walking back in the projects that I just shot somebody. Make it make sense. When you decide to arrest me, I'm suing you personally, your department, and the city of Nashville. And if I'm feeling itchy, I might just sue the state of Tennessee. Why? Because at the end of the day, you put your hands on me knowing I ain't did nothing. But this is how it is in everywhere. In California. Because I was in LA, I was 13 years old. Again, I grew up in the middle of 60 hood. It is what it is. I grew up about 5 blocks from where Nipsey got killed. It is what it is.
And that one-term president that's running again has emboldened some people.
Yeah, he's crazy all outdoors. I'm leaving the store. I'm 13. Now, last time I checked, you're not supposed to question a minor without their parents. Sheriff's Department, and this is why I do not like the sheriffs to this day, stopped me, told me to take off my shirt so they can see if I had a gun on me. I'm a minor. I'm just coming out of the store. But this is what I grew up with. I'm used to that. I'm used to police. That's why I'm fool with a whole lot of them. But that just shows how this society, and this is back in the day, this is 2023, and we are still
The same
being
thing
mistreated by
over and over
people.
again.
Like our last segment, oh, that's anti-Semitic. We say something. This situation, he telling you, this is my job. I'm telling you to move your boat. And you decide you want to put your hands on me because I'm doing my job.
Right. He was not doing something adverse or wrong. He
He
was
wasn't
literally doing,
bothering
that's his
y'all.
job. That's what they've given him instruction. This is what you do.
Hey, don't
He
write
did
park
his
here about
job.
the
Right.
dock boat.
He did his job and you assaulted him because he was doing his job. Now, as everyone has said, I totally say it because I don't condone violence. I hate it. I don't want to see it. All of that stuff.
I enjoy seeing it. I ain't gonna lie.
But in this instance, I'm glad that somebody stepped in, because what if everybody had just been like, oh my gosh, and just looked the other way? They could have killed him.
But I think
He
it's
could have
at
been Ahmaud Arbery.
It's
He could have been what's the baby's name? And from Florida. Oh,
you
I
talking
see
about
his face, but I
Troy,
can't think of his name. What's the baby's name? Oh,
Troy?
he was a
Trayvon,
Sigma Trayvon Martin. Yeah. You know, the list goes on and on and on. It could have been one of those things.
It's at a point where I think I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened the way it happened. And I'm gonna say why. Because people are tired of being sick and tired, and tired of people putting their hands on us. And I'm saying us. And we're not, because we're doing our job, or because we're not bothering you.
And then of course,
because we're not doing what you want us to do.
It'll be those people that say, "Oh, but black on black crime." First of all, I don't believe in black. Why is it that there's black on black crime, but there's not white on white, Asian on Asian? Every community has.
Every community fights itself.
And who else? And I don't mean that.
You fight yourself before you fight anybody else,
because that's who you around all the time.
Yeah, let's be honest. If you go to a Jewish community, you go to an Irish community,
they got crime too.
They got gangs, they got it all. Why? Yeah. Because it's their community. And one group of people think they're tougher than the other guy. They made movies off of it. What's that?
Gangs in New York.
No, not just Gangs in New York. That's one. But what's his name? They redid it. They got a TV show about it now with the Firebirds and all that stuff.
Oh, Grease.
Grease. That's the main concept of it. Outside is another one.
Yeah,
you have the socialists and you have the broke people.
Right.
Same community.
It's the
same area, same group of people that look alike.
Right. That happens.
If you strip them butt naked, all you will see is a bunch of white kids.
That has nothing to do with this.
Nope. At all. But
that was my point.
There are two different situations
with this.
That's why I say
keep your hands to yourself. The man told you couldn't park there. You should have just moved your boat and went on about your business. That's the beginning end of it.
You would have a good day.
There's no more. There's nothing else. That's it.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Leave people alone.
So yeah.
I'm tired of being polite. I'm tired of being polite, and being mistreated. I got sons. I got grandsons. I'm tired of worrying about. I got daughters and granddaughters. I'm tired of worrying if I'm gonna get a phone call because some idiot decided they didn't deserve to be here, or some idiot decided they didn't do what they wanted them to do when they wanted them to do it. One of my kids is actually going to school for HVAC, and although I'm proud of them, am I nervous? Yes, because I understand people. And that's one thing I gotta let them know. You stay in uniform at all times. Go in a uniform. Make sure you just right dressed. Because these people were, like them people turning in the driveways and then shooting their car up.
Oh yeah, that was.
And if you notice,
like the
nobody, it was only black people getting their cars shot up.
The mother, the woman
who rang the doorbell and got her face blown off.
She didn't even open the door, and she just
shot through the door. Come on now, it's getting ridiculous. It's 2023, crazy. But you want us. You want us to, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say this. I hate that all the violence stuff is going on in the world. Don't get me wrong, but I'm tired of people making it seem like every fight is our fight. Every fight is not our fight. But you keep playing with us, we're gonna give you a fight. Keep your hands to yourself. No, I'm just saying, because think about it. Every single time something's going on, they want us involved in it. Every time, like your boy Colin, that you don't like.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
The guy from the second Amendment guy.
Mm.
You don't like because that's not our fight. That ain't got nothing to do with us.
No, they're not talking about you.
No, exactly.
They really don't want you to have a gun.
Exactly.
So
that's not a fight. I don't care. Don't
but they don't want you to have a gun, but they'll use you to help with the fight, like always. But at any rate, that's another story for another time. Oh, let's wrap it up.
I can go on a boy. I'm sick of shenanigans.
From both segments, here is the moral of the story that we've got to make sense of. One, kind of mind your business. If it doesn't pertain to you, if it's not talking about you, don't be so quick to hop into something. Don't be so quick to take offense of something, right? If you don't know, like you always talk about in Romans when Paul said, tell your wives to be quiet, let them ask you when you get home. If you're not sure, ask your black friends. Every other ethnicity should have a black friend. You want to know why? So you can ask the black friend, hey, I saw this. It needs to be a black friend that's okay with you asking these questions. So if the person who got offended by that post that started the ruckus had a black friend that asked them, hey, he said this and da da da, what are you trying to say? And they could have told him, oh no, that's not anti-Semitic, it's da 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 da, right? Then we wouldn't have had the issue with Jennifer Aniston feeling like she had to lie and say she didn't like it and backtracking and putting out an apology that was so unnecessary. And then Jamie Foxx having to delete the post and put out an apology and say that a fake friend did something to him. Da da da. Like, dude, you don't even have to explain all that. It's not even necessary.
Those who know.
The people who know. You ain't even gotta do all that, bro. Jamie, you good. So it would have been better if you just asked somebody rather than running with something that was untrue. Number two,
and I understand why he did it because he felt like he could get
canceled. But
here's the thing:
I'm just saying,
let's just be honest about it. Don't nobody other than us have the power to cancel nobody because don't nobody spend money like we do.
He shouldn't have had to do that. It was unnecessary. And then
we ain't canceling Jamie for none of y'all.
And then for the brawl, dude, do what you're asked to do, right?
Do your job.
The man was doing his job. Respect the fact that he was doing his job, because if you were doing your job and you asked somebody to do something, you would want them to give you that same respect. So why don't you give what you want? Exactly. Love your neighbor as yourself. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. That thing right there. Let us all be mindful to do that.
That'll give you peace. I swear to God.
It will. Peace that
surpasses all understanding. So again, we know what to say. So because that's another thing we say in the house.
So one, mind your business. If it really ain't got to do with you, let people have their thing. Number two, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And then you won't be hit over the head
with a
folding chair, which I found out today that a black man invented. All right. So
we invented it and used it for different purposes. Wow.
So feel free to leave a comment. Remember that we can be disagreeable without being, we can disagree without being disagreeable, right? Exactly. And disrespectful, rather. We can disagree without being disrespectful. So be respectful in the comment section if you leave a comment, if you have a question, whatever. I will definitely link the articles that I showed you today in the description box so you can go read them for yourself. And at the end of the day, let it make sense, right? When you're out in the world, you're looking at something, do your research, look at it, and let's just try to make sense out of it. Sometimes you can't make sense of it. You have to say, dang, it's messed up, and let it go.
All the way 100.
All right. So, as always.
All right.
As always, be blessed and be in peace, and we will see you next time.
See you on Wednesday.